The other might have been a badly defaced department store mannequin, except for the bulging eyes and protruding tongue. This body was fresher, but the animals had been at it, and even in the dark Tess could see the grin of the dead woman's teeth. A beetle came lumbering out of the mannequin's hair and trundled down the bridge of her nose. Screaming hoarsely, Tess backed out of the culvert and bolted to her feet, her clothes soaked to her body from the waist up. She was naked from the waist down. And although she did not pass out, at least she didn't think she did, for a little while her consciousness was a queerly broken thing. Looking back on it, she would think of the next hour as a darkened stage lit by occasional spotlights. Every now and then a battered woman with a broken nose and blood on her thighs would walk into one of these spotlights. Then she would disappear back into darkness again. 9. She was in the store, in the big empty central room that had once been divided into aisles, with a frozen food case, maybe, at the back, and a beer cooler, for sure, running the length of the far wall. She was in the smell of departed coffee and pickles. He had either forgotten her dress slacks or meant to come back for them later, perhaps when he picked up the nail-studded scrapwood. She was fishing them out from under the counter. Beneath them were her shoes and her phone, smashed. Yes, at some point he would be back. Her scrunchie was gone. She remembered, vaguely, the way one remembers certain things from one's earliest childhood, some woman asking earlier today where she'd gotten it, and the inexplicable applause when she'd said J.C. Penney. She thought of the giant singing brown sugar, that squalling monotonous childish voice, and she went away again. Ten. She was walking behind the store in the moonlight. She had a carpet remnant wrapped around her shivering shoulders, but couldn't remember where she had gotten it. It was filthy, but it was warm, and she pulled it tighter. It came to her that she was actually circling the store, and this might be her second, third, or even fourth go-round. It came to her that she was looking for her expedition, but each time she didn't find it behind the store, she forgot that she had looked and went around again. She forgot because she had been thumped on the head and raped and choked and was in shock. It came to her that her brain might be bleeding. How could you know, unless you woke up with the angels and they told you? The afternoon's light breeze had gotten a little stronger, and the ticking of the tin sign was a little louder. You like it? It likes you. "7 Up," she said. Her voice was hoarse but serviceable. "That's what it is. You like it and it likes you." She heard herself raising her own voice in song. She had a good singing voice, and being choked had given it a surprisingly pleasant rasp. It was like listening to Bonnie Tyler sing out here in the moonlight. 7 Up tastes good. Like a cigarette should. It came to her that that wasn't right, and even if it was, she should be singing something better than fucked up advertising jingles while she had that pleasing rasp in her voice. If you were going to be raped and left for dead in a pipe with 2 rotting corpses, something good should come out of it. I'll sing Bonnie Tyler's hit record. I'll sing It's a Heartache. I'm sure I know the words, I'm sure they're in the junk heap every writer has in the back of her. But then she went away again. 11. She was sitting on a rock and crying her eyes out. The filthy carpet remnant was still around her shoulders. Her crotch ached and burned. The sour taste in her mouth suggested to her that she had vomited at some point between walking around the store and sitting on this rock, but she couldn't remember doing it. What she remembered. I was raped, I was raped, I was raped. You're not the first and you won't be the last, she said, but this tough love sentiment, coming out as it did in a series of choked sobs, was not very helpful. He tried to kill me, he almost did kill me. Yes, yes. And at this moment his failure did not seem like much consolation. She looked to her left and saw the store 50 or 60 yards down the road. He killed others. They're in the pipe. Bugs are crawling on them and they don't care. Yes, yes, she said in her raspy Bonnie Tyler voice, then went away again. "12. She was walking down the center of Stag Road and singing. It's a heartache when she heard an approaching motor from behind her. She whirled around, almost falling, and saw headlights brightening the top of a hill she must have just come over. It was him. The giant.